Here our goal is to factor something slightly more complicated. I want to be able to factor ax squared plus bx plus c. And surprisingly, this is not that much more difficult. Maybe takes a little more time, but not that much more difficult. So my first step is I'm going to find the product of a times c. So find a times c. Second, find factor pairs of find factor pairs of AC. Okay, step 3, we're going to do the same thing. Find sums of factor pairs that add up to B, that equal B. All right, our step 4 is very similar to before. We're going to rewrite the equation. And again, we're going to follow very much the same rules as we did before. 5, we're going to factor out our GCF. And then step 6, we're going to finish the factoring. All right. So let's look at it with 2 examples. I want to factor 2m squared minus m minus 15. Okay. Remember, my first step is I want to find AC. So I'm going to take 2 times negative 15. That is 30. I'm looking for factor pairs of 30. Oh, negative 30. So I have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 6 and 5. Here, let me be consistent. 5 and 6. Since the middle number is negative, I know that my bigger number is negative. And honestly, I'm not going to do the addition because I have negative 1 right there. What's 5 minus 6? Negative 1. And then I have negative 13. That is negative 7, negative 13, and then negative 29. Here's my answer. Here's what I'm looking for. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite the equation using the same method I did before. 2m squared plus 5m minus 6m minus 15. Okay, what's my GCF for this pair? My GCF is m. I'm going to factor that out. So I have 2m plus 5. I'm going to look at this pair, including this sign. The sign is part of it. And 6 and 15, I have a negative 3 since they're both negative. So that leaves me with 2m plus 5. Let me do a real quick check. Negative 3 times 2, negative 6, negative 3 times 5, negative 15. Okay, now I'm going to factor out the 2m plus 5 from both terms. And so I have left m minus 3 times 2m plus 5. And I am done. Let's look at one more. We're going to pick an example that's going to look a bit more fearsome. And here it is. It's 4y squared plus 26y plus 30. And so I'm looking at factor pairs. My first step, 4 times 30. Looking for factor pairs of 120. So factor pairs of 120 that add to 26. I'm going to start listing those factor pairs. 1 and 120, 2 and 60, 3 and 40, 4 and 30, 5 and 24, 6 and 20. Wait, I can stop there. 6 and 20. They're going to add up to my 26. I'm going to keep going for this moment. 8 and 15, 10, and 12. And so if I add them up, I'm going to get 120, 62, 43, 34, 29, 26, 23, and 22. So there's my factor pair. So 4y plus 6y, here's my rewrite, plus 20y plus 30. I'm going to factor out my common factors from this pair, my greatest common factor over here. It's going to be, oh, I forgot my squared. It's going to be 2y. That leaves me with a 2y here plus 3. Going to factor out a 10 over here, which leaves me with a 2y plus 3. Okay, so now if I look at it, I can factor out a 2y plus 10 from both sides, rather a 2y plus 10 from each of these terms, and I get my 2y plus 3, and I am done factoring that more complicated equation.